Zimbabwe cash crisis worse. Talking about Venezuela once again. Systemic important banks.
They removed the one factor called monetary awareness.
Hey there, hope all is well. Back at you again with some RTD News updates. As you can tell from today's title, a survey was recently done of which 63% of millennials regret buying their home out of 1,500. And the question is, would you be surprised when you hear some of the things they list as possible reasons as to why? But before I dive into today's article, as always,
Recession will be a recession.
We're going to hit a recession.
The date of the next recession.
A U.S.-only recession typically lasts 8 to 10 months.
A crash is coming. Now, whether it's 6 months from now, 12 months, 36 months, no one knows.
If you have the right plan to set up, you can make a lot of money from this.
So as I mentioned, today I have just one article in reference to this survey that was recently done out of about 1,500 people from Bankrate. But it's interesting how well over half of them have some type of buyer's remorse due to one of the factors that's listed in this article here. But before I actually give you an idea of what's in the article, I want to give you a better understanding of what the millennial generation is listed as, or Generation Y. And so it ranges from the dates 1980 to 1994, roughly 24 to 38 years old. And it's approximately 95 million of the current population of this country here out of 320 or so million. So imagine approximately half or more of the current generation, which are comprised of people entering the workforce for the first time, or those that should be well along their career, all of a sudden having some type of remorse in regards to purchasing a home. And so give you an idea what's going on in this article here. Scroll down a little bit. It says millennial home ownership has been off to a slow start. Roughly 1 to 3 millennials under the age of 35 own a home as of the end of 2018, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. It says that's 8 to 9% points lower than previous generation homeowner rates at the age of 25 to 34. It says that many of the younger people lucky enough to own a place still suffer from buyer's remorse. It says nearly 2/3 or 63% of millennials aged 23 to 38 say that they have regrets about purchasing their home, according to the recent survey. It says only 35% of baby boomers of the ages 55 to 73 would say the same thing, while about 50% of Generation Xers ages 39 to 54 would also have remorse as well. And then here's some of the top reasons as a part of this survey as to why millennials have buyer's remorse. And it says underestimating the hidden costs associated with buying and owning a home, including the ongoing responsibilities of maintaining it, is the #1 reason. So basically people get into a home just because removing themselves either from their parents' home or from renting and think that it's all peaches and cream, not realizing that they're taking on a responsibility of something that will drain from their pockets, not necessarily put into their pockets. And a lot of people don't take that in consideration. It says you need to know that you can truly afford to buy and own a home. It says, quote, do a full check of all your finances. Fairweather says a lot of hidden fees come with owning a home that you might not consider immediately. This scroll a little bit more. It says first-time buyers also often overlook the cost of upkeep and repairs. And so it says HGTV recommends buyers plan to spend at least 1 to 3% of the home's purchasing price on an annual maintenance. It says so if a home costs $300,000, your annual cost would be about $3,000. What's most interesting about this number here is the fact that most people don't have $1,000 or $1,500 in their savings account, nevertheless to be able to keep up maintenance on their home, which is another issue. Scroll down some more. It says the key to avoid regrets in the long run is to play it safe at the onset. And then it talks about buying a starter home. And as we all know, because of the inflated housing market, I'm not quite sure what a starter home is in these days when housing is extremely overpriced. Unfortunately, though, many millennials homeowners end up paying more than they want to or had budgeted for because there aren't many homes available at a price young people can comfortably pay. So the question is, what is an average price that a millennial can afford in a housing market that's overly inflated? Not quite sure what that is. Then it talks about some other millennial regrets here. It says, having understand the total cost of owning a home may be the biggest regret amongst millennials, but location also plays a role. Then it talks about because of most people are being priced out of being able to afford an ideal home, they're selling for a lot less than what they would want. Therefore, they're in neighborhoods that they don't want to be in and consider safe. And they end up purchasing a lot smaller house or too big of a house, give or take their situation there. So this is an article I want to share with you guys to give you an idea of what's going on out here, how 63% of millennials, roughly 98 million, give or take half of that, will probably say that they have buyer's remorse, given the fact that over the last decade since the Great Recession, a lot of people have bought into an ever-increasing housing market. And the worst part about it is the fact that a lot of people know that they're getting into a bubble, but yet it's the idea that it can go up a little bit more, which buys them a little bit more time to either take some of that equity out of their house or to be able to flip it. Because ultimately, we all know where the housing market has to go, and it has to go down. And so I do feel sympathetic for those that are buying into this rally, because at the end of the day, they're taking on debt that they more than likely will not be able to repay, which will then lead to more financial ruin for their futures in the days ahead. So other than that, I would love to hear your thoughts on this matter. Do you think 63% is a rough number of approximately 95 million millennials, or is that just a number we should keep with this current survey of about 1,500 people that did the survey? But be curious to find out what you think. Feel free to leave a comment down below. More importantly, if you find this informative, give it a thumbs up. And if you want, feel free to share it. Other than that, I'll see you guys later.